Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another live flow at Mystic Fitness. My name is Kelly, and I am here to provide you guys with another live flow. So as you guys are tuning in, you're probably going to notice that we changed our space up a little bit. And I want to let you guys know that there are going to be some changes coming from Mystic Fitness. Obviously, we're transitioning into doing actual classes back in our studio, like the way it was intended. But we have had so much fun with these live yoga flows. Good morning, Charlie. We've had so much fun with these live yoga flows that we're just slowly going to make them even more fun. So we're going to slowly start to invite some friends in to our space. So you guys can see we have these two mats here that are spread nice and far apart from one another. So this morning it's still just me. We didn't want to throw too many changes at you. So this morning it's just me. I'll be doing my practice and cueing you guys through your flow. But we want it to be more of a class kind of feel to it. So we figured if we invite a couple of people in to practice with us, then the teacher can kind of be walking around the room and cueing you guys through the best live vinyasas that we can get, or power or barkin, whatever class we're doing. So I hope you guys like our new space. We still have our paintings up in the background. So we're slowly kind of introducing new changes into Mystic live yoga so that we can just kind of keep it fresh, keep our spirits high. We are so close. We have that light at the end of the tunnel, so we are doing our best to continue forward. And of course, we are still going to provide you with our live yoga classes every morning at 9 a.m. without fail. So even if it's a little bit past 9 o'clock, keep refreshing your page, and we will deliver you that class regardless of any technical difficulties or any of that jazz. So like I said, for those of you who are just tuning in right now, we do have a little bit of a different space this morning. So this is my first go at using this space. The computer is propped up a little bit higher. And I'm going to try to dictate as well as practice and give you guys a little space. So thanks for saying good morning. I'm so happy to have you guys here with us. And like I said, we are going to be inviting some people to come in and practice on the mats, and we're going to keep our social distance from each other, make sure everybody stays safe. And this will be a great way for the teacher to kind of dictate while the student practices, similar to how Saturday mornings go, where Amy will be dictating on the mic from behind the scenes, and someone will practice for the visual. We're going to kind of continue with that and do it in a little bit of a different way. So we have a little bit more of a bird's eye view. And like I said, this is the first time I'm using this new kind of space. So if there are any difficulties in viewing or hearing, let us know and we will adapt to the situation. So if you guys are noticing that you don't really like the view, or maybe it's a little bit more challenging to see or hear, just let us know. We're here to provide you guys with the best yoga, so I hope that we can do that for you. So we're going to start by grounding. We're going to come onto our mats, so take your time to arrive. Allow yourself to sit down or maybe find a reclined position. And take a full deep breath in and let it go. Again, inhale and exhale. Just let everything kind of come back to ground level. Come back to this location of stillness. Perhaps as you're entering your stillness, you're noticing that stillness is pretty difficult. Maybe there's some heat within the body or bubbling of ideas and thoughts. Just approaching this practice with whatever energy you have moving through you. And that's the beauty of this flow, is that every morning it's going to be different. Some mornings you're going to need a little bit more push, a little bit more fire. Sometimes you're just going to need a little bit more soft, a little more water. Honoring wherever you're at this morning. And as we come into our practice, we have this opportunity to kind of turn off the thinking mind and turn on the dialogue that happens within the body. So this body is just as intelligent, if not more intelligent, than the mind. And it communicates to us through sensation rather than words. And this is our opportunity to connect to that unique communication. Taking another deep breath in and letting it go. Slowly start to wiggle the fingers and toes, reawaken into your physical body. Allow your breath to stay expansive. And then wherever you are, bringing your hands over your heart, connecting back to this location, connecting back to this space. And perhaps an intention arises from this location and you choose to hold it close for your practice. We'll begin with the sound of Om, taking a cleansing breath to prepare in and out. Again, inhale. Have a beautiful practice. Let's go ahead and transition into a standing position on our mat. So come to the top of your mat. Allow your feet to ground down into the earth. And just take a nice deep breath at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up, grow nice and long. And then with the exhale, just find some nice side-to-side bends, dropping one arm down and reaching the other arm up and over. Breathing in and breathing out to make this process of finding that side stretch nice and expansive. Again, inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to one side. Again, inhale, rise. And exhale, side bend. So taking this breath pattern to just really stretch you from the feet all the way to the fingertips. And with your last round, inhale, arms reach up. And with the exhale, bringing the hands towards the heart. Again, inhale, big circle, sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart. Last one here, inhale, arms reach up. And with the exhale, open them into goal post here and just start to roll the wrists a couple times. So have the fingers spread wide. We're opening and closing the palms, finding some nice big circles here. Beautiful. Opening and closing, rolling at the knuckles, getting all of that movement through the hands. And giving them a nice good shake here, releasing any last little bits of tension. And those feet are still nice and grounded into the earth. Incorporating some shoulder circles here, rolling the shoulders up and away from the ears. Unwinding the upper back and chest, and then taking that in the opposite rotation here. And this can be as expansive as you like, or maybe you want to keep the elbows bent here. Inhale, arms reach up. And with the exhale, bringing the hands towards your heart, hinging from the hips for that forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to take some big sweeps here. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, circle, sweep up, lengthen. And exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. This time staying in your forward fold, creating some movement through the backs of the legs, bending and extending, lengthening through those hamstrings, getting some nice movement here. Keeping a gentle bend in the knees so that you're not straining too much on that lower back. This is still the beginning of our practice, so we're finding that dynamic movement. We're warming up through the body and allowing this process to happen naturally. Inhale for your halfway lift. And with the exhale, fold. Hands plant, stepping back to your plank pose. So in your plank pose, you want to make sure that the shoulders are stacked right above the wrists. The heels are pressing for the back of the mat, and you're using the strength within the arms, cores, and legs to keep yourself lifted. This is a full body workout. Inhale. With the exhale, lower just the knees to the ground so that you can really engage through your core and let the chest follow with the elbows pointing back. Once the chest lands, inhale, peeling the chest up for that low cobra, making sure the chin is gently tucked, shoulders pull towards one another, and exhale, release. Let's find one more low cobra here. Inhale, peel it up, and exhale, release. Making your way up into your table pose, and then finding some cat and cow motions here. So in your table pose with the inhale, dropping the chest, gazing forward, and with the exhale, curling that spine, looking towards the belly as you press the floor away. So we're getting some nice movement through our spine here. And we're using our breath to naturally open ourselves up. So with each inhale, we're opening up that chest, gazing forward. And with each exhale, now we are curling and rounding through the spine. Breathe in, open it up. Exhale, curl it in. Taking 3 or so more like this, inhales and exhales. And then we will turn these motions into some nice big hip circles. So let those hips drop to one side, circle around, and then come to the other side. Sorry, I'm just readjusting here a little bit. This mat has a little bit more squish to it for my knees. So as we take these big sweeping circles, use that breath. And again, we're connecting to this process of unwinding, opening up in a natural progression. Take these circles in the opposite rotation when that's welcome. Take a moment in a child's pose when your body is ready, letting those hips sink back. Maybe you continue some gentle swaying from side to side here. Connecting back to that intention that you set at the beginning of your class. Maybe there was no intention set at all and you are just simply here for the experience, here for the ride. We all resonate with things differently. Coming back up into your table pose, finding a nice flat back, tucking the toes under and lifting the knees to just a hover, establishing that core connection here. Breathe in and out. So I want you to notice as you pull the core in, is your breath becoming strained? Try to keep that core engaged, but let breath and lungs move naturally here. Inhale. Exhale. Last inhale. With the exhale, hips pull up and back, finding your first downward facing dog. Starting this process by pedaling out the feet, bending and extending through one foot and leg at a time. Warming up through our hamstrings here, getting some movement in the back chain of our body. Making sure those shoulders are still properly in the right place. So make sure they roll down and away from the ears so that the neck is nice and long. Now, in your downward facing dog, the feet can be as close to the hands or as far apart as you desire here. And you're just finding some gentle movements here. Make sure those fingers are spread into the earth, actively pressing into the ground. And these will turn into some back and forth presses. So with the inhale, dropping the knees to a hover. With the exhale, extending to your plank pose. Inhale to that bent knee dog, hips pull up and back. And exhale, plank. 3 more. Really use those exhales. This time, holding in your plank pose, choosing if you'd like to drop those knees to the ground for your supported chaturanga here. Inhale. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way if the knees are on the ground. Inhale, up dog, or you're going to come through that low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. I got to let you guys know, even without the heat in this room, it is getting warm. I think that's because the weather is heating up, and that just makes me so happy. Inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky. And with the exhale, curl the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, re-extend that right leg high. And exhale, curl knee into chest. Step to your runner's lunge. Now from here in your runner's lunge, you want to make sure those feet are hip distance apart. If you like blocks, you're going to keep those blocks underneath the fingertips. Press down through the right heel and ball of the foot. Keeping left fingertips on your block, we're going to take a twist open to the right. So reach the right fingertips up towards the sky and allow that left rib cage to twist with you here. So I want to make sure that that twist is coming from the rib cage and not from that left hip dropping with you. So that means you have to engage the core. You have to press firmly through both feet. Last inhale. With the exhale, coming back to center, dialing left heel down and opening up to your Warrior Two posture. In your Warrior Two, we've done this a bunch throughout our yoga classes, but I want you to imagine as if you've never taken this posture before. Those right toes face forward, right knee tracks over right ankle, and the back of the left foot presses for the back. So I want you guys to notice this contrast of pressing forward with the right foot and reaching back with the left foot. This is the energy that keeps you stable, keeps you protected throughout the joints. Make sure those hips are stacked below shoulders. Open up the arms wide. With the inhale, lengthen through right leg, fingertips come to touch. And exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, extend. Exhale, Warrior. 3 more here, in and out. Last 2. And 1. Holding in your Warrior Two, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And with the exhale, cartwheel hands back to your runner's lunge. In your runner's lunge, hands plant. Right foot reaches all the way up and back. 3-leg dog here. Open up your hip, dialing that right heel over towards the left glute with a bent knee. Reaching that right knee up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Extending right leg back up to the sky. Square the hips. With the exhale, curl the right knee towards the left elbow. Kick that right foot through and open up to a funky side plank variation. So the right foot kicks through. You land on the edge of the right foot. Left fingertips reach up to the sky. Press those hips up. Last breath. With the exhale, we're going to return back to a full plank. So that left hand plants. Right foot reaches back to meet left. Inhale and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, in and out. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. With the exhale, curl knee in towards the chest. Inhale, re-extend nice and long. Exhale, knee to chest, step to your runner's lunge. Now, this time in our runner's lunge, we're going to bring the block under the right fingertips. We're going to make sure the feet are spread wide apart enough for the hips to have room to move. Plant the weight down with that left foot and spiral open, left fingertips up to the sky. Beautiful. So we're finding that twist on the opposite side. We're allowing that twist to come from the right rib cage, rotating over towards the left, rather than trying to let that hip follow you. So in order to do that, press even more into that left foot, engage through your core for your last breath. With the exhale, come back to center, dialing right heel down and opening up Warrior Two. So now we're in that Warrior Two on the other side. We're going to make sure the feet are spread far apart enough from each other so that you can be in this wide-legged stance without taxing the other parts of your bodies and joints. So left toes face forward, left knee tracks with ankle, and that back edge of the right foot presses away. This is your Warrior Two. And this is a beautiful posture to hold. Really feel those tiny little muscles working here. Inhale, extend left leg, fingertips come to touch. And exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, re-extend, lengthen up. Exhale, Warrior. 3 more here. In and out. In and out. Last one. Returning back to your Warrior Two. Hold here. Flipping left palm, inhale, reverse your Warrior. With the exhale, cartwheel hands down to your runner's lunge. Hands plant, left foot reaches up and back, 3-leg dog, bend the knee, open up your hip by bringing that left heel over towards the right glute and reaching upwards with that left knee. Breathe it in. And with the exhale, lengthen left leg, square the hips, inhale. Exhale, peel the left knee towards right elbow, kick left leg through, rotate open so the right fingertips reach up for the sky in this side plank variation. Press those hips up, breathe in. With the exhale, slowly returning to your plank pose. So right hand plants, left foot steps back to meet right foot. Inhale. With the exhale, lower for your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Yogi's choice here to stay in your dog and continue to move, or find a child's pose or a drink of water. Take care of any physical needs. And I am so ecstatic. Tomorrow we are going to have a model down so that I can dictate the model and be able to move around and provide you guys with the best yoga flow ever. So let's go ahead and get back onto our flow here, coming back into your downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, right leg reaches back up to the sky. With the exhale, curl the knee in towards the chest, stepping back to that runner's lunge, making sure the feet are placed in the right location, and then peeling yourself up for your crescent lunge. We're going to pulse in and out of some movement in our crescent lunge. So it's going to look something like this, bringing the hands towards your heart. With the inhale, peeling the left knee up towards the chest. Exhale, kicking left leg forward and then returning back to that bent knee. Extending left leg back into a Warrior Three variation, and with the exhale, landing to that crescent lunge. So we'll do this a few times before we really feel confident in the flow. So with the inhale, take that left knee back up to the chest. Exhale, give it a good kick. Inhale, back to center, extend to that Warrior Three. And exhale, crescent lunge. Beautiful. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, left knee to chest. Kick it out. Pull it back and extend to that warrior three. Exhale, crescent lunge. Maybe the arms want to get involved. Inhale, arms reach up. Pull the knee in towards the chest. With the exhale, kick the left leg out. Bring the hands to the heart as you hinge back to that warrior three. And crescent lunge, arms reach up. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, picking the left knee up towards the chest. Kicking it out, bringing the hands towards the heart. And reaching back, warrior three. Crescent lunge. Standing knee. Kick the leg. Warrior three. This time holding in your warrior three, either choosing to keep the hands at the heart or reach the palms facing down. Fingertips pull behind you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one here. Inhale. With the exhale, landing to your crescent lunge. Arms reach up, extend through the legs. And with the exhale, take a dip down, pulling the elbows towards the rib cage. Inhale, extend. Exhale, dip. 5 more. 4. Provide yourself with resistance through the body. 3. 2. Feel that heat. And 1. Return back to a proper crescent lunge. Open the arms into goal post. Dial left heel down. Open up to that warrior two once again. Setting up in that warrior two. Make sure the right toes face towards the front of the mat. Bend in the right knee. And make sure that stance is contrast of the right foot pressing forward and left foot pressing back. We're going to hold in our warrior two for 2 more breaths. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reaching the right palm up and over. And with the exhale, find your side angle. Taking 1 more rotation like this. Inhale to reverse. And exhale to extend. Holding this time in your extended side angle. And then incorporating some circles through that left shoulder. Taking it in the opposite direction. Make sure that we're still grounding down through those feet. So even as we bring a little movement through the upper body, the legs are still planted nice and firm. Reaching the left fingertips up towards the sky, right fingertips towards the shin, and then lengthen right leg for a triangle posture. So I want to make this very clear. In your triangle posture, we're not hyperextending through that right knee. We're keeping a gentle bend in that right knee and just barely having those fingertips on the shin, just as a little anchor there. Now notice if I'm going to go through some of the dysfunctions in this posture. Notice if you're trying to reach your hand to the ground and that makes your hips press back. So that's a huge dysfunction that we usually fall into in this pose. What I would prefer is coming off of your edge a little bit and making sure those hips are tucked under and open up towards the side. So imagining there's a wall behind you and the hips and shoulders are equally pressing onto that wall. Inhale and exhale. I know this is a pretty good ab workout too. Inhale, slowly start to come out of this pose, returning back to your warrior two. And then we're going to find a balancing half moon. So in order to do that, you might want to grab a block or cushion or something that you can kind of put a little bit of weight on and take it about 6 inches in front of that right foot. Now to start, we're going to bring the hands towards the heart. We're going to plant the weight into the right foot and slowly start to bring the right fingertips onto your block and reach the left leg up. We're trying to keep that left foot flexed, keep the heel in line with the hip here. And we're just using that block as a little tiny anchor. So we're not dumping all of our weight on that block. We're just barely using it. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to take a couple movements here. We're going to point and flex the foot for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to transition this posture into a warrior three by bringing the hands back to the heart, Dropping that left hip, warrior three. Nicely done. Last inhale. With the exhale, pull the left knee in towards the chest. Give it a squeeze. Interlace the fingertips on top of the shin. Breathe in. And with the exhale, release out of this pose. Go ahead and shake it up. Shake out that right standing leg. I have to admit, now I have to remember that on the other side. So now we get to do that together here. Awesome. So at the top of your mat, press the feet into the ground. Let's flow through another vinyasa. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Let's find one more halfway lift. Inhale, extend through the crown. And exhale, fold. Hands plant, stepping or taking a little hop back to your plank pose. Choosing which version of chaturanga you're going for here. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And if you are going for that up dog, you want to keep the hips and thighs up off of the ground. Pulling back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, curl the knee in towards the chest. Step to your runner's lunge. Setting up your runner's lunge first, and then using the core connection and power of the legs to peel your chest up for your crescent lunge. So we're going back into those movements here, and we'll start by planting the left foot down into the earth. Inhale, picking the right knee up towards the chest. Exhale, giving it a nice kick. And then turning this into a warrior three, sending the right foot behind you back into your crescent lunge. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, kick. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, crescent lunge. Again, the arms can join in, pulling them up towards the sky, kicking the legs out, pulling the hands towards the heart and returning back to your warrior three and crescent lunge. Three more here. Inhale, exhale, kick. Inhale, warrior three, and exhale, crescent lunge. Two, bringing that right knee in towards the chest, kicking the foot, warrior three, crescent lunge. Here's our last one. Make it the best one yet. Right knee to chest. Right foot kick. Warrior three, press the foot back. Holding in your warrior three here. Choosing whatever hand placement feels best. Maybe the fingers reach for the back of the room. Flex that right flying foot for 3, 2, 1. Land in your crescent lunge. Arms reach up. Extend through the legs. And we'll find 5 dips here, dropping in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dip. Now we'll start with our 5. Inhale, exhale. 4, 3, creating your own resistance through the body to strengthen you. 2, last one. Returning back to your proper crescent lunge, opening the arms into goal pose. Dialing the right heel down, opening up to your warrior 2. Take a moment to set this up. If you need a drink of water like myself, you can pause at any time and indulge in a little sip. Nice cold water. And you guys are rock stars at your warrior 2 by now. You know the drill. The left toes face forward, knee tracks with ankle. Create this contrast effect of the front foot pressing forward, back foot pressing back. Breathe in, breathe out. And I'm thinking ahead, let's go ahead and make sure there's a block in front of that left foot if it's not already there. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale, extend your warrior. One more like this. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Holding here. creating some circles through the right arm, almost like you're strumming a big guitar. And take those circles in the opposite direction. And then right fingertips reach up. Bring those left fingertips towards the shin or right below the knee. And then extend left leg for your triangle pose. So I'm going to show you guys some of the dysfunctions from the side this time. So in your triangle pose, sometimes see how my hips start to press back as I drop my fingers down towards the ground? I'd really prefer this posture to look more like this, with those hips tucking under, imagining there's a wall behind you and the hips and the shoulders are pressing evenly into that wall. So we always want to go for function rather than this like intense stretch. So sometimes people think that these yoga poses have to be like this beautiful, like really intense stretch, but the reality is our body needs more functional movement. So that means that the hips need to stack and the shoulders need to be where they're at to protect the joints and prevent future injury. Here's your last breath. Use those abdominals to slowly lift you back up into your warrior two. And then we're going to go for that balancing half moon. So make sure that block is about a couple inches in front of the left foot. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to bring that weight into the left foot, reach the left fingertips towards your block, and extend right leg. Keep the right heel in line with the hip. Flex that foot. Make sure the shoulders and hips are opening for the side. Breathe in. Breathe out. And we're going to point and flex the foot for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that warrior two. Bring the hands towards the heart. Start to transition it to your warrior three. Extend that right leg behind you. Dial the right hip down. Breathe in. With the exhale, pull the right knee in towards the chest. Give it a squeeze. Interlace your fingers right on that right shin. Rotate the right ankle. And exhale, release out of this posture. Well done. That is not an easy set of movements. So go ahead and shake out the legs. Maybe you windshield wiper arms from side to side. Take anything that you need here. And then eventually we will come back to the top of our mats. We're going to flow down, and then we're going to hit some abs, specifically for my friend Tom. So he encourages me to continue with my own ab exercises as well, because he's so disciplined. And I just can't wait to get you guys back in class and provide you with a physical class where we can be within each other's presence. I'm just so overwhelmed with excitement. Inhale, arm circle, sweep up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Finding one more halfway lift. Inhale, really extend long. Exhale, fold. Hands plant, stepping back to your plank pose. In your plank pose, we're going to pause here. We're going to find some toe taps. So we're going to take the left toes out to the left and back to center. Right out to right, back to center. 30. Keep it going as fast or as slow as you like. Try to keep those hips in one plane. Allow this movement to come strictly from the legs. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay in your full plank. Drop down onto your forearms for 10, 9. Pull that chest forward, hips tuck below you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees and hips to the ground. Find a Sphinx pose. Try to keep that chin gently tucked so that the neck is a natural extension of the spine. And this is a really fun pose to really stretch the abdominals. So imagine yourself almost like a little slug or a snail, and you're kind of trying to pull your chest forward. So really indulge in that nice long abdominal stretch. Try to keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. Maybe you even shake the head no and shake the head yes. Beautiful. Go ahead and relax back down into this posture. Allow the arms to come alongside of you, or maybe you bring the palms underneath the head as a pillow. Bend the knees and windshield wiper legs from side to side. So I'm a little shy to admit this, but I went on a hike last Saturday and I am still feeling it in my quads. So I'd like to show a deeper quad stretch. So usually we go for that quad stretch where we bring one forearm underneath the head and grab onto the foot or ankle and bend through the knee. So you can take that if you like. If you'd like to get a little bit deeper into the quads, we're going to prop ourselves up and sit back onto the heels so that we're in a hero's pose. All right? So I'm actually going to come onto the hardwood so you guys can see here. Oh, no. Never mind. All right, so I'm sitting back onto the heels. Now, for some of you guys, you're already going to start to feel that stretch already through the quads. So the progression of this is just kind of bringing your fingertips behind you. So notice now the stretch is becoming a little bit more intense through the quads, depending on how tight or how open you are. So this can be the location where you stay. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, we're going to go for a fixed, firm pose. So we're going to open up the heels a little bit so that the bum can kind of sit down a little bit. We're not going for a full W. We want to make sure that the calves are still touching the thighs, but it's just those heels that kind of sneak out. Now from here, you can start to walk the fingertips back once again. And if you have open quads, you might even drop down onto the forearms here. If this is feeling a little too intense, go ahead and prop yourself back up. If you're still craving a little bit more, you might let your shoulders land onto the ground, finding this full version of your fixed, firm pose. You want to make sure that the knees and shins still stay attached to the ground. So if you start to go back and the knees start to pull up off of the ground, I want you to come off of your edge a little bit here. So this is a pretty intense posture. For me, my quads are pretty open, so I can access this pose feeling pretty comfortable. But for some people, the coming onto the forearms is plenty. Find one more full round of breath here. To make this a little bit more intense, you want to push those hips up a little bit towards the sky. Feel that really nice quad stretch. To come out of this pose, we're going to do it the same way we got in, by progressively kind of propping yourself up, taking it nice and slow. And then we're going to hinge forward to a child's pose, letting the toes come together and just kind of relaxing into your child's pose for a breath. And in that fixed, firm pose, we're also kind of getting an arching of the spine. So finding a child's pose after kind of recalibrates the vertebra. All right, propping yourself back up, sitting onto your bum, extending the legs in front of you. We're going to find a forward fold. So if you like the legs extended long in front of you in more of a pike position, or you can open up the legs into a wide-legged position, whatever is really calling your name. And you can always do both as well. We're going to find a nice forward fold here. So in this pose, your forward fold might just look a little bit like this, kind of hinging by a centimeter or two. So you want to go with the posture that feels best for your body. So as I start to hinge forward, now this is becoming pretty intense through my inner thighs. So I'm going to pause here for a moment, kind of breathe with it, and then tune into that dialogue that's happening within my body using sensation. And with that in mind, using that to kind of judge if I want to go deeper. So before going deeper in any posture, you always kind of want to check in with the body, make sure that that is available and welcome. Sometimes the mind thinks we can just jump into a pose, but the body isn't really caught up with us yet. Go ahead and slowly start to come out of this posture. If the legs were separated, bring them back in front of you. Bobble up the knees up and down a couple times. Then we're going to come into some boat postures here. So the progression of our boat pose means that the soles of the feet come to the ground, knees are in a 90-degree angle, and the fingertips come right behind the lower back. This is a ab exercise in and of itself already. If you'd like to bump this up a notch, you might bring the hands behind the thighs and then start to pick the feet up off of the ground. Notice how my back is not rounding here, but I'm using the abdominal strength to keep my chest lifted so that I have a nice long spine. And that's where the grasping of the thighs can kind of be used to keep yourself lifted. Choosing to stay here, or we will pulse in and out of our boat pose. So I like to bring my hands towards my heart, pull the knees in towards the chest, and then exhale, lengthen the legs, and lower my back. Inhale back to your boat pose. Exhale, hover. 10, 9. Take it nice and slow so you can really feel each muscle of abdominal turn on. 7, 6, 5, 4. We got this, you guys. This is almost done. 3, 2, 1. I want you to hold that hover if you can. Maybe the arms reach up overhead. Inhale. With the exhale, pull the knees in towards the chest. Sit yourself back up, finding a bound ankle position by letting the soles of the feet come together and knees flop out to the sides. I'll show you guys a visual from the front. My feet are together, knees are flopped out. Again, you can stay here with the chest open, or maybe you gently start to hinge forward and get a nice juicy stretch through the outer thighs. Slowly and with control, start to prop yourself back up. And we will lower ourselves all the way down. And if you want that extra little ab push here, keep the soles of the feet onto the earth, arms extend in front of you, and slowly start to roll yourself down one vertebra at a time until the shoulders and head land, reaching the arms and legs long to get a full body stretch. Pulling the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze, perhaps inviting a little side-to-side movement. Dropping the soles of the feet to the ground. We're going to find some rolling bridges here. Bringing the arms alongside of you with the palms facing down. With the inhale, tucking the pelvis and pulling yourself up. And with the exhale, rolling down. Finishing off by pressing the lower back into the earth. Inhale, pelvis tilts up to start. Rolling all the way up to the shoulders. And exhale, slowly lower. With this next one, we'll hold that bridge pose by keeping our quads engaged, pressing into the heels. You might even start to walk those shoulders underneath you a little bit. And we're going to take some dips here. So with the inhale, hips press up, squeeze the glutes together. With the exhale, drop to just a hover. Inhale, press up and squeeze every fiber of the quads and glutes. Exhale, hover for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Really squeeze on the way up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it up, hold. 5, 4, 3. Press down with the heels. 2, and 1. Release out of this pose. Open the arms into a T. Bring the feet to the outer edges of your mat and rock the knees from left to right. Eventually letting the knees drop over to the right, finding your reclining twist here. Gaze can be towards the left. If you're looking to deepen this posture, you might decide to prop that right ankle up over left thigh. Find 3 breaths here. Bringing all your attention back up to center. And with the exhale, dropping the knees over towards the left, gaze over towards the right. If you liked the modification of taking the left ankle over right thigh, you can go ahead and find that here. 3 breaths. Coming back to center, bringing both soles of the feet to the ground. Taking right ankle up and over left thigh for your figure 4 pose. You can choose to stay here. Maybe you grab a block with the right hand and place it on right knee and press down and away with the block. Or you might decide you want to interlace hands behind left thigh and pull this shape in towards the body. Wherever you are, you want to make sure that the lower back is placed on the earth and not rolling up towards the sky. And this is our reclining pigeon pose, our figure 4 posture. There's many ways to do a pigeon pose. It's a beautiful idea to kind of try all of them, see which one resonates the most with you. Let's take this to the other side by dropping left sole of the foot back to the ground. Right foot plants and then left ankle comes up and over right thigh. Again, choosing to stay here, maybe taking that block on the left knee and pressing down. Or interlacing hands behind right thigh and pulling the shape in towards the chest. Just that friendly reminder to make sure the lower back is still on the earth. Coming out of this pose and taking any last posture of your choice. So if you want to find a waterfall pose, maybe lengthening the feet up towards the sky. Happy baby might be calling your name. Bound angle in a reclined position. Soles of the feet come together, knees flop out. And taking a couple breaths before finding your final resting posture. And just a little tidbit, if you do have any lower back pain, your final resting posture might feel more comfortable with the feet to the outer edges of the mat and the knees flopping in towards one another. Once you're ready for your final resting posture, just go ahead and sink into it. Take a couple nice deep breaths in and out. Take any movements that make you feel more comfortable. And wherever you are, take a nice deep breath in and let it go. Again, inhale and exhale. Notice this slow hum, vibration within the background. And let yourself know any emotions that need to arise are welcome within this space. And last couple of months. Been dealing with so many changes, positive, maybe some negative. And this scale of certainty versus uncertainty has been a little unbalanced. But now we have this light at the end of the tunnel. We have this desire to march forward. I'd like to just express how thankful I am to have and be a part of this supportive community. Has provided so much strength within my life. I am just welcoming our first class together. Taking another deep breath in and letting it go. Again, inhale and exhale. Slowly start to wiggle the toes and fingers and allow your awareness to trickle back into your physical body. And bringing your hands over heart. It's just blowing my mind to think of the energy that we are going to feel as we step back into the studio. We'll seal our class in with the sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath in and out. And for Om, inhale. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice with Mystic and myself. The love that resides within me bows to the love residing within you. Namaste. Thank you guys all so much for being a part of another live Mystic Fitness Flow. I am so excited to announce that tomorrow morning I will be doing another guided class, and we will have our friend here being the demonstrator. So I will be able to move around, check in on the comments that are coming in, and really give you guys the best version of a class that we can possibly deliver for you. And I am counting down the days to get back in the studio with you guys. Be assured that we are diligently working on plans and methods to keep this studio safe, as well as our students safe and teachers safe. So tune in Saturday morning. Amy is going to come on a little bit early and go through all of the logistics. And if you have any questions, please save them for Saturday, or reach out to us directly. I think a lot of studios and gyms are kind of in the same boat of, now we have this date, we have this kind of goal to move towards, and then there's all these little questions that come behind it. But we are just so thankful for the light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to keep doing our part to get our students there, get our teachers there safely. And yeah, keep smiling. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow, and please tune in Saturday morning for a lot of great information. Thanks, guys. Namaste.